Welcome back. We're examining the issues as they break ahead of the 2015 elections, and so many of them going on now. Well, we're joined this morning by Mr. Kenneth Odidika, who is a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, lots of things are playing themselves out in the politics. If we start off with that one, where the APC presidential candidate, because before that address, there's been skirmishes in different states, parties accusing themselves of perpetrating or fueling that crisis. But his comments here, very instructive, isn't it?
Thank you. What we say when something has already happened, I always say prior to that, actually could be different and could determine why what happened. Prior to this time, there have been statements from APC suggestive of the necessity for violence. I'll give an example. I was actually in Abuja on that day where they said they had an outing and said that if the election were rigged, that they would form a parallel government. And of course, they tried to justify that. How would you determine the election being rigged except it went to court after an election and the court would declare that this happened or that happened?
Do we need to bother about that if the elections are not going to be rigged?
No, if somebody says that, you know what that means immediately? That once you lose, take to the streets to install a parallel government. Now, it's nice that General Buhari has come out now to even say what he said. So at least even if the violence stops now from both sides, so we can just be praying for the souls of those that have already died. Both parties, because I mean we're really concerned with PDP and APC as it were now, both parties should ensure that their followers stick to the rules of the game ordinarily. And that is, there's no need for violence. On that, do your campaign, say what you want to do for Nigerians, and then on that day, go and vote. If your man loses, you go home. If your man wins, you can also celebrate without destroying things. But rules must be kept too. The problem we have in Nigeria is that we don't even stick to rules. We are not a country we are a country that has rule of law, but we don't obey those rules. And this will take me actually to the same APC and their candidate. Because we have a constitution and other laws, with the constitution being supreme. And the constitution says, these are things you do, or these are the qualifications required of somebody who seeks an office. And you look at the qualification, even if you have it, but you refuse to show it to us. Not to us, per se, to give it to INEC, which now has the legal obligation to show it to Nigerians. I'm talking about Section 131, that defines who is qualified to be president, or to run for president of Nigeria. And talks about being educated up to school certificate. But that's not the only thing it says, or its equivalent. I'm coming. I know what I'm saying. I know where I'm going. I understand that. Up to school certificate suggests that you actually have to obtain the school certificate. Just as saying, get up to Channels Television. You don't stop before getting to Channels and you tell me you're almost there. You have to get to, or we'll stay here until Sunday. You know, on Saturday you move, you say you have done it. That is even one. Then the other one is that the Electoral Act now goes on to tell you that it's not just, you have to have it. It says you must submit it. In fact, the form that General Buhari and President Goodluck Jonathan filled says attach your personal, section C of it says attach your personal credentials. It's not just, so here we are faced with an affidavit that says my credentials are with Army Board. One, I don't think that was prepared by a lawyer, because even the credentials were not named for a start. And we're talking about somebody who has run election on 3 different occasions under the same constitution. Are we saying that whenever he ran for an election, he will go to military board, collect the certificate, show them to to INEC, and then after the election, he will take them back and return to INEC. Okay. So here we are, not even obeying the rule of law. And when you don't obey one, it could lead to the anarchy that we're seeing in the system.
There's a book out there about this, which was written, from what we see here, in May 1984. And it was titled, it was from the head of research and documentation section, Federal Department of Information, in that month, May 1984. And then page 95 of it gives us details of his early life, his educational qualifications, his career, and thoughts then as the head of state. So they're all listed there, that all those documents are there.
What are we talking? We're talking about what the law says. I presume that Chamberlain is a university graduate. In fact, chances are that you have classmates, lecturers, and all that who say, yes, oh, you even made a first class. But the law says, Chamberlain, bring your certificate. That's the thing, that's the difference. So going to tell me, what is so difficult? That shows you the mindset, the kind of person who wants to come and govern me today.
What?
This is upon somebody who does not want to subject himself to the rules. The rule says, show it to me. You can get it from wherever it is there, and show it them to Nigeria, and that's all.
You know, I'll come
and
back.
you're telling me that I should go to one book in 1994.
I'll come back to this certificate issue, because I am trying to pick some of those points you raised, and you started off by talking about violence, and which I just realized that if you go into the history books, it has always been in our politics, which shouldn't be. And now, leading up to 2015 elections, first we got to see pictures circulated online of a bus, supposedly a PDP bus, on fire, and not quite long, the APC office in Rivers State bombed. So one for the PDP, one for the APC. Retaliatory, whatever it is, I'm sure investigations are on. Don't you think we have failed, when you talk about laws, we have failed not to enact or enforce some of these laws over the years, to the extent that people can actually go out there, cause mayhem, and nothing happens?
We don't need to enact new laws, really. We have enough laws to take care of our problems. What we have is selective application of the laws, because we have big man. We have the big man syndrome, which is why I took it immediately to the one that is currently raging, the certificate issue. Because we have a big man who has refused to subject himself to the law. And that is what obtains everywhere. Even the cultism in schools, in universities. You arrest a big man's child. Once the father's name is mentioned, or the father calls the DP or the commissioner of police, the child is released to go and continue with what they have been doing. We have a big man syndrome in Nigeria. And why this one is actually painful is that this is somebody who has been garbed, clothed with the now known to be myth of incorruptibility, discipline.
But this doesn't make him culpable, because this whole issue, I thought that INEC has put paid to everything concerning this certificate issue by saying,
how they did that?
By asking, for instance, the PDP that is about this whole matter to go to court. And it's amazing that still, as we speak, they still haven't taken that option.
Are you aware that the judicial service workers are on strike?
But let them make a move. Let them speak
somebody has
and give reasons why they haven't done that.
To empanel that. That's just a move is being made. But however, even INEC is culpable, because by their act, they are supposed to publish the personal particulars of the person, not a form completed by somebody, but the personal particulars of that person. They're supposed to publish that. And here is somebody who did not submit any personal particulars to you and published his name.
But you know,
so
they've also said that the PDP bringing up this matter. By the way, are you a member of the PDP?
I'm not a member of any political party as today in Nigeria.
Okay, because they say that, look, the PDP bringing up this matter is just to distract from the key issues, that after all, the vice president also had questions about his qualifications, and so why are they not talking about that? Has it been sorted out?
We are mixing up issues. You can't mix up apple and oranges. The vice president said, my house got burnt. And he went to the same schools he attended. and got letters from the school saying, yes, this man came here, yes, he has B.Arch or M.Arch or whatever it is he had. Here's another person who hasn't even told us in the schools he went to. He just wrote an affidavit saying, my credentials are with Army Board. Oh, sorry, military board, not even Army Board. My credentials are with military board. And now I'm saying, if I were to have been his lawyer drafting that thing for him, and it was real, well, I'll say he went to school, obtained first school living certificate, I obtained one myself. He went to school, obtained first WAEC, I obtained one personally. And I write the schools, and I'll say, but the originals and photocopies are all with the secretary to the Army Board. That is the best I would do. You know, the thing is, it is so easy to lie. And somebody will be presented as a courageous and brave man.
No, I think
it takes courage to say the truth.